Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video. And today I'm having an exciting new thing I'm doing on my channel because you can probably tell, but I have wrapped up my entire TBR. I don't know if I was stupid or if I was a genius when I did this, because apart from I know which genres each and every wrapping paper have a different sort of genre represented in them, but apart from that I have no idea which books I'll be picking. So this will be a way that I'll also get around to reading the books that I've had on my shelves for the longest time, because I'll sometimes obviously pick those books, and it's not because I want to read all of the books on my shelves, or at least all of the books that I've wrapped up. And the way that I decided to do this was every single book that was a standalone or first in the series or a sequel where I've gotten to. So it doesn't contain any books that are next in the series that I have not yet gotten to, or books that I really don't feel like reading, that I'm considering on holding before I get to them. So I feel like that's a little exciting. I have 7 different types of wrapping paper, and the way that I've divided them is in some of the categories have multiple genres in them, because I didn't have very many in those specific genres, but I felt like they fit together in a sort of way I think of them. I have fantasy in 2 types of wrapping paper because I bought one type of wrapping paper first and then I ran out of that. And for this first time I'm going to be picking one book from each of the wrapping papers to unwrap, and hopefully I'll get through them all over July, but it is definitely just a tentative TBR for this month, because I also have some other things that I have to get to, but then I won't be doing an unwrapping until I get through these books. So here is my 7 different types of wrapping paper so you can see them. And I'm gonna talk about the different genres that I put in them, so you'll know for the future. And also I want to say that I got the idea for this wrapping up my TBR thing from Sylvia from Wishful Fulfillment. She's been doing this for the past, I don't know if it was the past year or 2, and I'll leave a link to her playlist of all of her unwrappings in the card symbol up here as well in the description box below, because it's so much fun to watch her expressions when she unwraps these things, and I just really enjoy watching the videos. So that's why I was also inspired to do this, because I felt like it was a challenging thing, but it will also make me work on my TBR in a way that I hadn't considered it before. And the way I'll be doing this in the future as well is that I'll probably hold some new books, and if I don't read those books within the first couple of months that I've had them on my shelf, I will be wrapping them up, all of those, and add them to my mix here. The only books that I won't be wrapping up is my science fiction masterworks, because I'm working on this science fiction masterwork project and I'm aiming to at least try and read 2 books, at least 1 book a month, hopefully 2 books a month of science fiction masterworks. And in order to do that, I'll have to know where they are. So it won't be a good idea to wrap them up and I won't know where to find the specific masterworks. And if I have some planned body reads and stuff, I won't wrap those up because I have plans to read them in the nearest future. But those are my sort of critiques for not wrapping up books. The first 2 wrapping papers I'm going to talk about is my fantasy wrapping paper, because fantasy is my most owned type of books, and these are wrapped in either this type of wrapping paper, which I have the most of my fantasy books wrapped in, and this will be the ones that I'm using in the long run, because I bought some wrapping paper that I have a lot of it in one roll. And the other type of fantasy wrapping paper is this lined ones, but there was way too little wrapping paper, so I ran out after I wrapped up I think 7 or 8 books. I have 2 books that I didn't have enough wrapping paper to actually wrap up. These 2, The Chemist and Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, but I'm hoping I'll at least get to them before next round, or I will be wrapping them up next time when I get some new wrapping paper. I know this is a little whooshy. But I just wanted you to see this. For the future, I may combine them with my TBR, but this month I've only decided to do the wrappings because I wanted to talk about all of this. But as I said, these are my two fantasy genre wrapping paper. And then this one. I really enjoy this. I feel like this looks so sophisticated and cute. And so this will contain my historical fiction, literary fiction, classics, unless they're science fiction classics or fantasy classics or that type of classic, they will be in this sort of wrapping paper, with a few exceptions. And this also has sort of books that I don't know how to categorize. So this is the genre that I have the most different genres in it. This wrapping paper is the paranormal and urban fantasy books that I have to read. This wrapping paper is my horror, thriller, mystery, suspense sort of genre. And the yellow paper is my contemporaries, because I felt like this was very a contemporary color, because contemporary is usually sort of the summer reads and stuff, and this looks a little summery to me. And finally, this wrapping paper, which will probably change for the future because I ran out, but this is currently my science fiction wrapping paper, so science fiction books. These are the 7 books I'll be unwrapping today, and let's just start from the beginning. Though I will say I probably can cheat with some of the books, because I know that I only have so many on the same size, of one of the specific sizes in the different genres, but for the most part it's going to be difficult deciding which books I'm going to be reading. I cheated a little this time because I picked a lot of slim ones, because I'm not in the mood to have a way too overwhelming TBR from the beginning here. And in the future I probably will only be picking like 4 or 5 different books, and sometimes I'll be picking 2 fantasies, because I have the most of my books are fantasies, as I said. Let's start out with the science fiction wrapping paper. I think I know this one it's either John Scalzi or it's Watership Down by Richard Adams, because those are the only ones that I have in mass market size. Yeah, it's Fascination by John Scalzi, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. I've heard that this author is one of the best starting places in science fiction, because he's so he has such a lot of humor in it, and it's not too science heavy. And I know that Sam from Science Nonsense has read this and really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping I'll really enjoy it as well. And I know that Rachel from Kalanali has read a lot of John Scalzi books as well, and she really enjoys them. And then the next one is my contemporaries, and I think I know this one is because I only have one really short book, but I was like, I need just a short book. Yeah, this is Sound Bites by Rachel K. Burke. It's a rock and roll love story. It's really short. It's only 173 pages, so I should get through this really quickly. And yeah, I don't mind romances, so I hope I will at least enjoy it for the most part. This is my thriller, horror, suspense sort of mystery books, and let's see what this is. Do you know this will be like Christmas every time I have to do an unwrapping? Did you realize that? Is this? Yeah, it's so fitting. So this is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I've recently seen a couple of booktubers do a review of this, and they really enjoyed it. And also this will be a book of the month book on one of my Goodreads groups, and I'm currently participating in a challenge called the Tower Teams Challenge. And this, if you participate in the book of the month books, we get extra points. So I'm really excited that I picked this, and I'll definitely be working on this book and answering those questions so we can get some more points, and that's exciting. I'm pretty sure this is Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop. This is my urban fantasy paranormal romance books, and I'm pretty sure it's the third book in the other series because I only have so many mass market books. Yeah, yes, that's it. And I'm really looking forward to getting to this. I have loved Written in Red, and I loved Murder of Crows. Not as much as Written in Red probably, but I'm really looking forward to getting back into this story with Simon and Meg and all of the others from the Courtyard. This was my favorite new author of last year, just so you know. And the next wrapping paper I'm already starting to open is my literary historical fiction sort of books, and I think I saw what it is. This is actually a Danish author, so that's exciting. I haven't read a lot of Danish authors before, so this is called, in Danish the title is Kadaverdoktoren, but the English translated title is Dr. Death. I know this has been actually translated into English, so it is possible to read it if I enjoy it and you would like to check it out as well. This sort of an historical, I think, is it set in the 20s? In 1894, so in the late 1800s. And I think this is about a doctor working in the morgues. And this girl is like an apprentice maybe, and then she discovers that something is weird about these things and it might have a paranormal twist to it. I don't know if it's a book about zombies as well. I'm really not sure about this. I'm excited to see who it is. She is as an author. She's wrote Shamer's Daughter Quartet, which is one of her most famous books here in Denmark, because this was her fantasy, middle grade fantasy books, and I have yet to read those, and I really need to read those, but I'm going to be starting with Dr. Death. So these, the last books I have here are my fantasy books. I really don't remember which books were wrapped up in this one. I hope this is a good pick. I kind of hope it's Bad Unicorn, but I don't know if it is that one. So let's see. Oh, it's not. Oh, I'm actually also really excited about this because this is The Novice by Taran Matharu, the first book in the Summer Note trilogy, and this has been very praised from Connor O'Brien, and I am excited to get to this. I actually attempted to start this last summer when I did a try chapter thing. I ended up reading Vicious by V.E. Schwab because it seemed like the faster read and it was during a readathon. But this premise sounds like sort of his Dark Material thing, because they have this spirit animal thing. I don't think it's going to be like the same thing, but I think the premise is pretty cool. And so I'm definitely excited about this. And the last is obviously the other sort of this fantasy genre. I don't know what this is. Oh, so this is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. This is a very popular fantasy, young adult fantasy book. I'm actually interested in this. I hope it's a fast-paced one, and I hope that since I have 2 weeks vacation soon, I will be able to get through all of these books over July, but I also have some other obligations, but let's just put them in a stack so you can see the books that I'm definitely going to be working on in the nearest future. The stack of books that I'm going to be working on over the next coming weeks and month. And hopefully I'll be back with another unwrapping by the end of next month, but I really don't think I'll get through all of these books that quickly. But definitely let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this idea, if it's something you could ever consider doing, because it was a little nerve-wracking and I have really been thinking about it for a while if I wanted to do this. But I just felt like the thing that I was doing now wasn't really working very well. So I needed something else to sort of tackle the TBR, and I feel like it's going to be a fun experience, and we'll see how it goes. And I actually kind of like how it all looks on my shelves now with all the different wrapping papers. It's easier to organize the bookshelves because I don't have to think about the colors so much of the spines in the same way, because they're all wrapped up in sort of the same sort of paper. But I can focus a lot on the height instead, and I think that's pretty exciting. So I've tried to hide this for the last couple of weeks when I've been doing some videos, because I didn't want to spoil it, but it's been something I've been really excited about showing you. So definitely let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this idea, and definitely go and check out Sylvia from Visual Fulfillment, because she's an amazing YouTuber, and I think that this is such a unique thing that she's been doing. I haven't seen very many other booktubers do this, so definitely go and check out that playlist. Yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!